What's going on, everyone? It's Greg back with some more MIR4, and today I want to go ahead and go over the second Hell Raid. It's the one that has the level 120 boss. It is, I mean, it's definitely more difficult than the first one, of course, but the mechanics are a bit different to the degree that it doesn't really heal as much as the first boss. Like, and the healing isn't necessarily dependent upon the pillars. I'll be honest with you before we get going. I don't know exactly specifically what each of the pillars do. I know there's some that like have these circles that pop up on the floor, create like blind debuff. Like, and then there's a protection pillar. We haven't quite figured out what it is. We think with that we do more damage when it's down, but haven't quite figured it out yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Oops, I didn't press play on the wrong thing. Here we go. And basically, the way we do this, we had a party of all. In general, 120 plus is what you want in here. Now you can have around 6 or so people that are dedicated to towers, and if you look on my mini map here, we did split them up between the right side and the left side. You can see the little red dots popping up on the mini map. Those are where the towers are, and of course then the boss. So we split like 6 people between those two sides, and they stayed on the pillars, and then we kept the rest of us on the boss. And at the same time, you'll notice that we tried to pull the boss over to the pillars on the ground to just help take those out quicker. And at one point there were quite a few pillars, but you can mostly brute force this if you have a good, a full party that is mostly 120 plus. Definitely with some 125 plus, which is what we have. I don't think we had our 130 in this party. We did not. So this one was actually like a little lower. We had a few people that were between 110 and 120. And again, like I said, they're dedicated to the pillars. So as you can see here, you DPS the boss. And there's no guards in this one. You're not protecting something. This is like it's just saying there's one little area where there are some pillars down below, and there's some pillars up on the mountains. You can see them on the mini map. And so I'm gonna go ahead and speed up most of this, and I'll probably cut in and talk about some things when it's important. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in here. So essentially at this point you can see these extra mobs and bosses coming in. It was a pretty smooth sailing the first 5 mil damage. Then you start getting mob spawns and these bigger mobs. And these are important. As you can see on the screen here, you see these green stuff coming out of the bigger ones. They are healing, as far as we can tell, they're healing the boss and each other. So you do need to somewhat focus them to get them down. As you can see, I did die here. Like, I mean, this one isn't really any joke. I mean, I think it's gonna be a while, or it's gonna take some mega whales to do the 141. But for us, like, I don't think we'd be able to try the 140. So as you can see here, we are trying to take out the bigger mobs. I think there's 4 of them at this point. Then we still have our group of people on the pillars. You can see them on the sides, and although I'm just noticing we had some people just sitting up there waiting for pillars to respawn. But that's okay, because sometimes even trying to come down and get the ones on the ground gets a little hectic. There's just so much going on, so many attacks on the ground. It's pretty nuts. So here we're just gonna focus on those bigger ones as much as we can, still DPSing the main boss, and then we'll shift our focus back to the boss. And eventually, for the rest of this, you're gonna see a lot of chaos, and it's just gonna get kind of nuts. There's gonna be stuff all over, and at that point you really just gotta brute force it. You brute force it to the end. We did cut it kind of close, but that's just how it goes. As you can see here, we're coming up on the last little bit with like around 3 minutes. I think we finished this in 10 seconds or so. And as you guys can see, it gets kind of chaotic. It's probably not the smoothest run. We probably should have had maybe a couple more people on towers, especially toward the end there, especially those ones on the ground. You see those 3 towers kind of stayed up for a long time. Probably wasn't helping us. And then most of the mechanics are tied to the towers. Keep that in mind. Here it kind of shows you a bit of the rewards. I gotta say, you know, I am appreciative of We Made in the sense that this Hell Raid actually makes, you know, something you want to do. You know, giving you these other materials, nice. Definitely appreciate that. So you know what, I think the Hell Raid is a great addition to the game. The mechanics are a little bit different. That's cool. You know, something a little more interesting. Definitely have enjoyed it. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. Any input from you guys on anything you want to see, anything in particular, let me know. As usual, if you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications on. I'll catch you in the next video.